Hey, what's good everyone? Welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to be doing a drill cookup.
Agony.
So first we're going to drag in the melody. I'm going to be using this one by Rich. We can take a listen to it. I'm just gonna do the basics. I'm gonna align the BPM, and not gonna be using the stems for this beat. We're just gonna be using the actual loop. I'm just gonna put this into the first mixer track really quick. For the melodies, I always like to cut out my lows so there's no clashing between lower frequencies like the 808 or the kick. Bring it to around 225 hertz. Now the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put an empty pattern every cut that I did. Now we have all the patterns here. We could bring in our drums now. Now for the drums, I'm just gonna be using Jackie's Timeless kit. A lot of great sounds in here. Definitely worth picking up if you're thinking about getting into drill. I'm just gonna load all our sounds up in here. Alright, we got all our sounds loaded up. This is pretty much all I'm gonna be using. I might add a few perks later, but for right now we have this 808. And then we have this kick. So basic mellow kick. We have this hi-hat right here. Almost like a shaker. We have a clap. We're gonna be using this for the snare. And then for the last thing, we're actually gonna be using an open hat here. Alright, so first I'm going to start off with the snares or the claps, whatever one you choose. And really easiest way to put it is everywhere a normal clap would go on a trap beat, every second snare or clap, you just want to move it the whole line over, and we'll have a simple bounce, simple drill bounce like this. This is optional. You could add some more bounce to it if you add a little bit of accent notes, such as one right here, lower the velocity a little bit. So now we're gonna have this. Pretty simple, but adds more bounce, which is always good for drill. So that's basically the snares. That's about it. For the hi-hats, we're just gonna be putting notes here, here, and here. And then we could just copy paste that throughout the whole beat. So now we have simple drill hi-hats. Now this is really plain, and I don't really use drill hi-hats like this, so we're gonna add some rolls, some accent notes. So to add rolls, really just go in between these lines right here. Just add notes, change their velocity. Rolls, we change the velocity everywhere. Just add a few more too. And once we have our basic or bars right here, we can just delete the rest of this. I'm gonna do another thing I like to do is just add some notes lower onto the piano roll. Actually, I'm gonna do that right here. Basically, what these lower notes do is just, again, more bounce. It's really simple. I just copied these notes pretty much lower and added some more rolls. Played with the hi-hats as usual. I just kept the velocities a little lower so it's not blasting. So now we got this full hi-hat pattern right here. Those are some bouncy drill hi-hats. Next thing I think we should do is the 808. For 808s, this is really important. You want to take everything down except for the hold. So this is 0, everything else is 0, and just keep this all the way up. So usually it'll be here, but just drag this all the way up. And then we're gonna, for the last thing, we gotta do the 808s. So you just gotta go here and click cut itself. And now we have 808s that'll stop once we're not playing them. So as soon as we let go of the note, it stops playing. So let's find the key of this. This is an A minor. It's a pretty high up, to be honest. So we're gonna bring this down by like 300 cents. Now we have this down, so we can just go here. For the 808s, basically it's just this goes up to this middle line right here, and just copy that. Now we have this copied for now. I'm actually gonna bring the velocity all the way up for these as well. Basically, just like I said for everything else, you just want to add accents, slides, of course, for this. So we're gonna go into slides, but for now I'm just gonna add some little things like this. Now we can cut all these up. Now we can make some slide notes. For slide notes, I usually go here, so it's just a half step, then I go to a here, and you can just click this little triangle. The keyboard shortcut on flstudio is S. You could also just press S to enable that and disable that. So we're gonna enable that, and we're gonna do some slides. Now firstly, if you're not good with staying in key with your slides, I'd like to just give a quick tip. If you go here and then you go to view, scale highlighting, you can actually choose whatever scale you want to highlight. So minor, whatever. I'm going to do F sharp for you guys so you guys can see what's actually in key. We're just going to put our slide notes here. I'm not putting the slides in just yet because I just want to flesh out what it's actually going to sound like before I add the slides. I think that sounds pretty good, so we can just put this, we're going to copy this over, and these notes are just going to turn into slide notes. For a longer slide like this note, I'm just going to increase the length of the slide, 2 little squares right here. So we basically have our first 808 pattern. This is what it sounds like. So that's it for the 808s. We can add some of the open hats now before I add the kick. I'm just gonna put one right here. Go into piano roll. I'm gonna change the velocity of the second one. And now with that, I'm actually just gonna copy this whole pattern over here. So beats. I'm going to drag everything in the mixer by selecting all these. Right click, channel routing. You want to route select the channel starting from this track. Now we have all of our sounds here. For the kick, for it to actually be a drill kick and hit hard like it's supposed to, we're going to go here, this little arrow, we're going to just go right here to the 808 and we're going to click that. So now it's sidechained. We're going to go to the master and we are going to just add soft clipper. Turn this down a little bit. And for my kicks, yeah, I usually tune them to A. Usually people either tune them to A sharp or just leave them at C, but I just like to have them at A. So we're going to add in these kicks. Now for the kicks, I really just make them hit on every time we have a note like this where it just hits. At the end, I usually have a little bit more. This is what it sounds like right now. For the end right here, I'm just gonna build some suspense by putting a lot of kicks. Basically our kick pattern, I'm just gonna add actually a kick right here as well. Now that I'm thinking about it, I actually want to add a lot of more perks. I'm going to add a snuff, and I'm also going to be adding a gunshot. So for the gunshot, I'm just going to be placing notes here and changing the velocity so they have like a fake delay effect, downward slope right here, and just have this. Just added some more shots right here for the transition. And for the snuff, I'm basically just going to put it on almost every kick. So with the velocity a little bit for these end ones. That's really all I put in my beats. I'm just gonna route these to the channel again. Now we're gonna do some mixing. Really, you can mix however you want. Really depends on what you're going for. But if you want to follow this COOKUP, you could just copy what I'm doing. So I'm actually just gonna start off with the hi-hats. For hi-hats, I'm gonna be using Pancake 2. You could also use Fruity Pan-O-Matic. Basically same effect, just not as premium. I'm gonna click this so it doesn't actually pan all the way left or right. Then here, I'm just gonna do 1 bar. I'm gonna turn the clap up a little bit. I think I'm gonna add a little reverb on the clap. I'm just gonna use Fruity Reverb. I'm gonna turn the low cut all the way up, bass all the way down, okay, a little up. Like that. I think that's good. high pass enough. I'm gonna add delay bank. I'm gonna do ping pong and bring the time down to 2, volume down to 20. So that's basically it. I'm gonna arrange this little snippet right here, show you guys arrangement tips as well. So I'm gonna go here. I'm just gonna split by channel. That's what I always do. Go back to line. I'm just gonna drag all this in. So now we have our intro right here. We're gonna get a few effects like risers and crashes. So for risers, I'm just gonna use the same kit. I'm gonna use the earthquake riser. It's one of my favorite risers. Put it in here, turn the volume down just a tiny bit. And for the crash, we're gonna use this main crash. So now we have just a basic drop right here. Now that's just a basic drop. Usually I like to grab these snuff. I'm actually just gonna cut up to this point, and the gunshot I'm just gonna leave it as it is. So now we have this. And the last thing I like to do with the drops is I'm just gonna scroll down here. I'm gonna use the Huss and Guap kit for the fills. Fills are just drum transitions, sound like this. I'm actually gonna use this boom bap drop. I'm gonna turn this down a bit. So now we have our full drop. Actually, I'm gonna use another riser. Now I'm gonna add another transition. I'm gonna grab this riser, double tap riser. Onto some effects. This effect right here. So it's just some perk put into an audio file, and then we could cut that here. Copy this crash over here. But instead, I'm gonna make this unique. I'm just gonna turn down the volume a little more. So that's pretty basic arrangement, not that many effects added, but this is pretty much all you really need for a drill. So let's take a listen to the full beat. Thank you for watching. This was Defiance with No Agony, and I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something, and hope to see you in the future. See ya.